Hey guys, I figured I'd make a part 2 to this video because the last video did so great. It got like 10,000 views and it's still getting more views and I got like 100 subscribers from it. So this is a part 2 with all the updated rods, like from all the new updates and stuff like that. So hope this helps and I'll see you soon. Hey guys, welcome back to another video. In this video, I'm going to be showing you how to get every single rod inside of Roblox Fish. This includes unlockable rods, secret rods, and just every rod in general. But also, just before I start this video, I just want to say thank you so much for 900 subscribers. And I know I haven't actually posted in a while, but it's just because I don't really need to post like every single day because I can't really be bothered and there's not much stuff to post. But also, if you do want to join giveaways in the Discord will be in the comments. So if you want me to do daily giveaways, then there'll be smaller giveaways. But if you guys want weekly giveaways, then I'll be doing really big giveaways every week, like multiple people for like Megalodon, like a North Star Serpent, Spectral Serpent, stuff like that. So if you do want that, make sure you like, subscribe, and join the Discord. And let's get started. Make sure you guys watch this video all the way to the end because you might find a rod that you want that you actually didn't know even existed. So make sure you just watch it. But we're starting here at Moosewood, and then there is the flimsy rod, the training rod, the plastic rod, the carbon rod, the fast rod, and the lucky rod. Now the only rod I recommend buying from here is the carbon rod, and also just behind the merchant there is the long rod next to this tent for 4,500. Okay, so the next rods I'm going to show you are over here at Roslet Bay. So when you're here at Roslet Bay, you just want to come over to this blacksmith, and there are going to be the steady rod, the rapid rod, and the fortune rod. And the only rod you should get from here is the steady rod, because this is most likely one of the best and mid-game rods, just because the fact that it has the ability to catch any single fish in the game because it has a 100,000 kilograms. Also, if you just go ahead and go behind like all this stuff and you go ahead and enter the volcano, when you get inside of the volcano, you just want to turn right and then follow down the path like where I'm gonna go. So once you follow that path, you will see Orc, and when you talk to Orc, you just need to go catch a puffer fish, and when you bring back the puffer fish, he will give you the magma rod in return. Okay, so these next two rods are just in Vertigo, so you want to go ahead and find a strange whirlpool and jump inside of it. And once you're inside, you're going to see Synth. So you want to come over to Synth, and there's going to be the Nocturnal rod for $11,000. And when it is Aurora Borealis, the Aurora rod will spawn just on the left of Synth right here for $90,000. Okay, so this next rod I'm going to show you is going to be over here at Forsaken Shores. So when you get to Forsaken Shores, you just want to follow where I go. And once you get inside this skull, there's going to be the Scurvy rod for $50,000. Which, again, I don't really recommend buying this rod because it is basically pointless. There's no reason to get it. It's just not worth it at all. Okay, so this next rod is going to be over here at the Statue of Sovereignty. So when you want to go ahead and get this rod, head down into the cave. And you're going to need a little bit more than the money that this costs, just because you need to pay $400 for a token to actually get down there. But once you're down there, it is just going to be on the left of the cage elevator thing. So as you can see, I'm now out of the elevator, and you just turn left, and then this rod is going to be the King's Rod for $120,000. Okay, so this next rod is just going to be in between the Statue of Sovereignty and Moosewood. So if you just want to go ahead and go in between them, and then head towards like Mangrove Swamp sort of way, just like to the left of it. And then you will see this arch right here. And then just below this arch, there's going to be this NPC that you can talk to. And then you can buy the Destiny Rod. I don't actually know how much it costs. I think it's 175,000. but this rod has 250% luck. Okay, so now at Mushgrove Swamp, you're gonna want to talk to Agaric and then catch an alligator. And when you get the alligator, which is just on this like wooden boat over here, you will then talk to Agaric, and then he will give you the fungal rod. Okay, so these next rods are going to be over here at Ancient Isles. So when you come over to Ancient Isles, you just want to turn left a bit, and then just on this lonely island all by itself, there's going to be the stone rod for 3,000 credits. So there is also one other rod here, which is the Phoenix rod. So if you do want the Phoenix rod, just follow where I go. Okay, so now just follow me from the middle, from the merchant to the Phoenix rod. And then once you get to the back, you'll see these vines, and just inside of here is going to be the Phoenix rod. Okay, this next rod is going to be the magnet rod over here at Terrapin Island, just next to the shipwright. This rod isn't really that good. It's literally basically only used to catch crates and stuff. If I actually go ahead and look at the magnet rod, it attracts crates and loot. So if you do want more crates and loot, then go ahead and buy the magnet rod. Okay, now for these last few rods that are going to be purchasing for money, they're going to be at the Northern Expedition. So come over here to the Northern Expedition, and then I will be showing you where to go from if you're at the bottom or if you're already at the top. So the first rod I'm just going to show you is going to be probably the best mid-game rod. If you are in mid-game, I would really recommend buying this rod just because it is just really good, like all-round stats. It is the Arctic rod for $25,000. This rod is actually really good stats if for only $25,000, and it is mid-game because it can catch 80,000 kilograms, has 15% resilience, 0.18 control, 65% luck, and 45% lure speed, which is incredibly good for a mid-game rod that literally only costs $25,000. But this next rod is just going to be up here. Just go up a couple more campsites. Okay, so now that we're here over at, I think it's the third campsite, there is going to be the Avalanche rod for $35,000. Now, there's really no reason to get this rod because it's basically just a worse version of the Arctic rod. If you compare the stats, this is literally just a little bit better with luck. It has 3% more luck, and that's the only thing that's better than the Arctic rod. So I don't really recommend buying this rod. But the next rod is going to be the crystallized rod, which if you don't know how to actually unlock the crystallized rod, I have a separate video. So go check that out. It'll be linked in the description. So go check it out because it will really help. Okay, so just over here is the crystallized rod. You will actually need two people to unlock this rod, but I'm not going to go too in depth just because I do have a separate video for that. And later I will also be making a video on how to get the rod that you need to pull the 5 levers for, but I actually don't know what that rod is called yet. So I'll be posting a video on it later today maybe. So make sure you check that out if already out. But this next rod is going to be the Summit rod, which is just up near the top, like one campsite away from the top. So just the second last campsite. So it is not a really good rod, but it does look pretty cool. If you just take a look here, it looks pretty cool. And it has decent stats, not like the best stats. It just has 75% luck, 15% lure speed, 0.25 control, 15% resilience, and 200,000 max kgs. So it can actually catch any fish in the game because no fish is above 200,000 kgs, just like the steady rod and all the rods that have infinite. So you want to go ahead and buy this rod, then you can buy it. But just keep following me, and then I will take you to the summit. Okay, so if you're going to want to go ahead and purchase the avalanche rod, you just want to come down past these crystals, and then you just want to drop down to here. And if you just drop down here, you will see that right here is going to be the avalanche rod. You can probably see it there. Right here, avalanche rod. And then obviously if you want the Arctic rod, you just jump all the way down, and that is going to be right there. Okay, so now I'm going to be telling you how to get all the crafting rods and where you get the materials for the crafting rods. Okay, so once you're over here at Ancient Isles, you will see that in the waterfall there is kind of a hole. And if you go ahead and just parkour around to get either on top of the waterfall or just on the side of it, which is what I'm going to do, there is a thing right here. And you just go ahead and jump in. And then once you get in here, you will see a black hole with the rope. Go ahead and use that rope. And once you are actually down into the ancient archives, you will need 4 different people, each person with each gemstone fragment. So one person's going to need the earth fragment, one person's going to need the earth fragment, the deep sea fragment, the solar fragment, and I don't know what that fragment's called. But once you do that, you will need to turn them, and then you will be able to enter the ancient archives. So once you actually get over to here, you will need to be level 750 to get every single rod in here. So for each rod there is a set level cap that you will need to actually craft a rod. I'll just put a list of all like the materials and where you get them on the screen, just so it's easier for you guys. We're going to start out with the precision rod. You will need 1 amethyst, which is from a meteor at Ancient Isles, 2 mythical driftwood, which is just caught anywhere, but go watch my video on how to get all driftwood. The link will also be in the comments and at the top right of the screen, so you can just go ahead and click that if you want mythical wood, and 1 magic thread. And for the wisdom rod, you'll need ruby, which is from a meteor, and then go watch my video on how to get driftwood, and then magic thread. And then you will need 3 amethyst for the resourceful rod, which is from a meteor, and then you will need lunar driftwood, and you will also need a magic thread. And for the seasons rod, you will need 2 opal, 3 frozen driftwood, and 1 magic thread. For the riptide rod, you will need 3 rubies, 3 Atlantean driftwood, and 1 magic thread. For the voyager rod, you need 3 opal, 3 voidwood, and 1 magic thread. If you don't know how to get voidwood, this is caught either at Desolate Deep, the depths, or the Statue of Sovereignty, like inside of it. I forgot what that's actually called. I think the place where you buy the king rod, basically. And if you didn't know, you also get opal from a meteor. So the first one of every single rod except this one and this one and this one is going to be from a meteor. So all of these things, like the first one, you will need a meteor to get that. And for the lost rod, you will need 3 lapis lazuli, 3 ancient wood, and 1 ancient thread. If you don't know how to get ancient wood, it is caught over at Sunstone Island. It is very easy to catch, and it is also very easy to craft this rod. For the celestial rod, you need 3 moonstone, 3 moonwood, and 1 ancient thread. You do actually get moonstone from a meteor, but I think it's on the rarer side because I've actually never gotten it yet. And to get moonwood, it needs to be an eclipse or moonlit mirage, and you have to be fishing at Snowcap to get the moonwood. And for the Rod of the Eternal King, you will need 2 golden sea pearls, 3 inferno wood, and 1 lunar thread. If you don't know how to get golden sea pearls, it is from catching clams at the back of Roslet Bay, and the 3 inferno wood is from the volcano at Roslet Bay. For the Krampus rod, you will need 3 icicles, 1 festive driftwood, and magic thread. If you don't know how to get icicles, it's just at the new limited area if you go ahead and use the globe. And for the Rod of the Forgotten Fang, we'll need 2 meg spines, 2 meg fangs, and a thread. I don't know what thread it is, but I'll put it up on the screen. So the first rod I want to say is going to be the Sunken Rod. Now, the Sunken Rod is only obtainable through treasure maps. So if you do have a lot of treasure maps and you do want the Sunken Rod, go ahead and fix your treasure maps at Forsaken Shores. And you will need the GPS to find the coordinates of the treasure maps. And then you have a very small chance to get the Sunken Rod. And there's also going to be the No Life Rod, which you unlock at level 500. You don't need to do anything except get level 500, and the second you reach level 500, you will unlock the No Life Rod. And now there's actually 2 more rods, which is going to be the Antler Rod and the North Star Rod, which are unobtainable anymore unless you are going to pay Robux for them in the Advent Calendar. So if you do want them, go ahead and buy them in the Advent Calendar, but I don't really recommend it because it is not worth it. Okay, so now there's going to be 4 more rods, which I will quickly take you to get. Okay, so these next 2 rods are going to be over at Sunstone Island, which it isn't actually really at Sunstone Island. If you know what I'm talking about, then I'm sure you know where I'm going. But you want to go ahead and go past the Trumpet Fish and head north until you see a red buoy. Okay, so here is the red buoy. So once you come here, you want to make sure that you equip your advanced diving gear, your super flippers, and your tide breaker if you do have the tide breaker. But if you don't, then I'm guessing you've actually never been in here before. If you have been in here before and you don't have the trident rod, then this is actually where it is. So the first rod I'm going to show you that isn't actually the trident rod, it is going to be, instead of going right where the trident rod is, you want to go ahead and go straight, which I know probably nobody actually wants this rod, but you will need it eventually if you're trying to catch the spectral serpent, because this rod right here, the reinforced rod, is the only rod that is able to catch fish in the brine pool, which is where you catch the spectral serpent. So now for the trident rod, if you're exiting this cave or you're just entering the cave, you want to go ahead and turn right at that little billboard thing and avoid the sea mines if you can, because if you touch it, you are going to blow up and then you'll get sent back to your spawn point. But once you get in here, there's going to be this shop right here with this merchant, and when you come over here, you will be able to see that there is some diving gear and the tide breaker, which I would recommend buying, along with some coral geodes and bait and a diving gear. So once you're just over here, you want to go ahead and pass that mirror, and you will see it's kind of like pointing into that corner, but you want to go ahead and go past this thing and drop into the water right down here. There's going to be a little secret hole, and then you go ahead and just go up, and then as you can see, there is a secret room, which you will need 5 enchant relics, 1 on each pedestal, and then the person with 100% bestiary, and then this door will open and there will be the trident rod for 150,000 credits. Also, if you want to go ahead and exit the Desolate Deep, just use this magic mirror and you will get taken back to Sunstone. Okay, so guys, this next rod is going to be in the depths, which is going to be the Rod of the Depths. So if you guys don't actually have the depths open yet, you will need 100% bestiary of the Vertigo and a depths key, and then you just want to go ahead and do this parkour over here and hopefully not fall like I did multiple times. Okay, so once you're in the depths, you want to make sure that you have two things, well, three things. You need $750,000. You need a abyssal enchant relic, and you need a hexed enchant. So once you have your hexed and abyssal enchant relic, you want to come up this waterfall, and then exit right here, and then you will see this, which is where you put your hexed enchant relic. And then come over here and put your abyssal enchant relic in here, and then this thing right here will open up, and then you will need to go through a maze underwater. So you will need oxygen tank, probably the tidebreaker, and it'll be very easy, but it is kind of hard to find it though, so it isn't really easy. And then once you find it, you need to pay $750,000. Then you get the Rod of the Depths, which is an endgame rod, and it's actually extremely good rod. Probably better than the no life rod, just because the passive, and the passive is every 3 catches you get a fish from your little guy behind you here, and it is really good rod. But now these last 2 rods are going to be back at the Northern Expedition. So you want to go ahead and head back to the Northern Expedition. And then once you're up here at the top, you will need to get each gemstone of each color, which I have a separate video on how to get all the colors, what to do to get the Heaven's Rod. So that'll also be in the description, so go check that out. And then once you have all the crystals in there, you want to come down here, and then there will be the Heaven Rod just inside of this thing, which when you go into this little black hole, and then right here, you will see just down here is going to be the Heaven's Rod. Okay, so for this last rod, you will need, I think, $35,000, and you need to use all 5 levers around the map. If you don't know how to use the lever, you need a lantern, and you will need to go next to the lever, and it will start to melt the ice on the lever, and then you can then pull it. And once you have all 5 pulled, you will then need to go into a secret place, which I don't know where it is, but as you can see, there is a lever here. But you will need to pull the last lever in the secret place, and then the rod will come from the roof. But as you can see, the light from my lantern is melting the ice, and you just need to wait a little bit, and then you can then go ahead and pull the lever. And then when the lever is pulled, all 5 of them are pulled, 6 of them, I'm sorry, the rod will come from the roof, and you can then buy it. But I hope this video helped you guys. If it did, make sure to drop a like and subscribe, join the Discord, go check out some of my other videos, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.